going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm rich.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm late. You know, sometimes you lay your head down on a pillow thinking you're going to take a 20-minute nap, and all of a sudden it's over 2 hours later. You know, things happen. Things happen. So, legal fiction right off the bat. Dang. 20 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Legal Fiction. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Very generous of you. Sorry, I'm still waking up. I just woke up. I just woke up. I'm gonna be up all night now. Legal Fiction, thank you so much for the 20 gifted membership. That's extremely generous of you. Thanks, buddy. And welcome to the 20 new members. Members Mondays tomorrow night. Man, 20 gifted. I think that's the most I've ever seen at one time. Legal Fiction, thank you so much. Kathy Berry coming in. What is going on? I'm gonna start taking naps before my lives more often. You know, if you know, I go live at 8:30 instead of 8, and you guys just, you know, come in with the memberships. I'm just gonna start going at 8:30. You guys are both awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Welcome to the new 25 members right off the bat. Right off the bat. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys everybody had a great Mother's Day. All the mothers out there. Hope you guys had a great day. Yeah. You guys are awesome. All right. You guys want to watch some court? Heather. That's the first 7 months I've seen. Heather. 7 months. 7 months. Heather was the first member of the channel, but you know, it was designed that way, and you know, she's my girlfriend, so she earns the right to be the most long-standing member. But yeah, Heather, 7 months. We've hit the 7-month mark. That is awesome. Heather, you are awesome. I love you. All right. What's going on? I need to wake up. You can tell it's bad when I'm going on 3 minutes with an intro. All right. Day Old Grits, 3 months. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Day Old Grits. I appreciate it. 3 months. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. I need to start playing some court. Otherwise, people are going to start leaving. You guys are all awesome. All right. Let's watch some court. I've got 2 clips out of Thurston County. They're both small. They're civil small claim matters, I believe. No. These are PPOs. These are personal protection orders, not small claims. Wrong video. They are personal protection orders. Both of them are kind of funny. Kind of funny as in, why are they dealing with court? They're wasting the court's time, which is why I titled it something about a Karen. I don't know. All right. I just woke up. I put that title and I put this video together in about 2 seconds because, yeah, naps happen. All right. Before I hit that play button, you guys know what to do. Jay. You got a nappy nap disco tonight. Disco. Yeah. I'm going to be wide awake by the time this video is over. Anyways, before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, do your jump kick back lips. Let's go. All right. Terry V. Better now you're here. I lost my favorite YouTubers a few years back, so I worry. Oh. You lost your favorite YouTubers? Terry V, first off, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You mean like lost them as in they're like no longer with us? I know a couple YouTubers that are no longer with us, mainly Big Cat, Schrodinger's cat. That was a sad day. That was a really sad day. I remember exactly where I was when I found out that information. And then Limey. But besides that, I don't know anybody else. But Limey was just a couple weeks ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that. You know what? I'm rambling. I'm rambling so hard. We are going to hit 5 minutes before I even start playing court now. Bad Scooter, thank you so much. Member 4 months. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Let's watch some court. Let's watch some court. If I say it to myself a bunch of times, we'll actually start watching court. All right. I think I already said it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe to your Junk Kick Backlist. I don't know if that made sense, but let's go.
Ryan Sheila Benavente, Michael Parfit. And I'm pretty sure you're not Mr. Kessler.
No, Your Honor. My name is Peter Lindgren. I'm an associate with Mr. Kessler's firm. Mr. Kessler is in trial this morning, and he asked me to stand in for him.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Parfit and the Benaventes, if everybody would raise your right hand.
All right, I was not ready for this soon. Jedi, you're spoiling it. You're spoiling it, Jedi. Are all the 12 here? Are they all here? Because if they're not all here, I can't do it. So I need the twat waffles to all sign off real quick. So I see Jedi. Sly just messaged. I need 3 more. I need 3 more. Okay, Michelle, Lexa. All right, there's 1 left. 1 left. Oh, I saw 3. All right. Okay, so I made the Twat Waffles Assembled theme song. I already told Jedi about it. So I made a couple theme songs. So whenever all 5 of the Twat Waffles are here, I got your Twat Waffles the Night theme song. You guys ready for it? You ready for it? Here we go. Now I'm gonna add some graphics to that. So that's just a little, spoiler alert. I've got your Twat Waffles United theme song. Twat Waffles Assemble! All right. There's your theme song. Twat Waffles. All right, let's go.
For me, please. Where the testimony in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Hey, ma'am? Is that a yes, ma'am? I didn't hear you.
Yes, I do.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. All right. It appears the 2 parties here are neighbors, and just a very general summation of the petitioner's petition, as I understand it, is that Mr. Parfit yells over the fence at you. He peers over the fence, and he's making you uncomfortable in your own yard. Go ahead and add anything else that you think isn't caught by that summary.
No, that's about it, Your Honor. We put up an 8-foot fence to separate our world from his world. We've asked the home association to give us that permission to raise the fence just for that separation, but yet he still figures out a way to. It's like that's it. That's all, Your Honor.
And the safety of our granddaughter, who was here the day that he threw the branch over the fence.
All right. And when did the screening fence go up?
We started it last year.
Yeah, it was meant to be a slow process. Just whenever I got paid, I'd add a little bit to it. But when he started the harassment thing, we actually had to charge a lot of stuff to put the fence up. And then later on, we added sensors around the fence because it still didn't stop him. And then we added security cameras. He didn't seem to care about that, so we called the homeowner association to give us permission to raise the fence, and it's still not doing anything.
All right. And from the Benavente standpoint, what's your opinion as to what precipitated this, the nature of this relationship?
All right, I forgot we were watching Cord. I'm sitting there laughing at you guys in the chat. Also, what's up, Mike, Dwight, Robbie, Birdie, you guys are all awesome. I'll read the membership milestones here shortly. But yeah, I want to let a little of the court play. I'm pausing way too much already. We're 10 minutes into the video, and I think I'm 2 minutes into this clip. Anyways, this last name, I don't even remember what it was. Hold on, I gotta rewind it. This last name is just so much fun to say.
And from the Benevente standpoint,
Benevente. Can you imagine if Benevente was your last name? I don't know if the judge is pronouncing it right, but Benevente. I would feel untouchable if that was my last name. It's just so much fun to say. Kind of like Annalisa Molina. It's just so much fun to say. When you have a name that's just so much fun to say, I don't know. Yeah, just saying. All right, I'm gonna let this play. You guys are all awesome. I'll get to the membership milestones here shortly.
What's your opinion as to what precipitated this, the nature of this relationship?
Well, it was an issue that I did, and it was my mistake, and I admitted it to it right off the bat, is that when I was working on the fence, what I thought was the green belt, there was a tree growing over into my yard. And there was like, I had to cut through 6 feet of blackberries and brush to get to that tree and cut that off so that I could continue my fence. I didn't.
I don't want to start this game again. The last time people were trying to give me words to say, I was let's see, McGillivray is that's my final guess. Robbie McGillivray. I'm sure it might be Vray, but I don't know. Free sounds better. Well, it sounds like it rolls off the tongue better. That's McGillivray is how I'm gonna guess.
Not know at the time that it was private property. It looked like the green belt to me. And when he brought it to my attention, I apologized. And he said he would see what his attorney says about it. And that same afternoon, I looked out and he was grabbing my rope and my pulleys and my chains off the green belt and throwing it on his property. And I said, dude, that's my stuff. What are you doing? And he said, it's mine. So my property now. What are you going to do about it? That's at the point when I thought, I'm not dealing with a rational individual here. So I just kind of walked back in the house, and that's the way it's been ever since.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Lindgren, do you have any questions for the Beneventes?
No, Your Honor.
And you wish to have Mr. Parfit testify?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm also prepared to defend the motion or defend the Mr. Parfit's response to the petitioner's petition in this case. But if there's something you'd like to hear from Mr. Parfit.
Okay, we have not received a written response. So if there's a written response, it's not.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna wait till after this clip to shout out the membership milestones. I think Streamlab changed something. StreamYard. I think StreamYard changed something. It used to give me a tab that showed all of the super chats and whatnot. That tab's no longer there. I just noticed this. I don't know if there was an update or not. So I gotta call them as they come in now. Or I gotta figure out where this tab is. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss, and I don't want to miss. Rose, member for 1 month. Thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate it. It's awesome. Then we got Lisa. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And happy Mother's Day to my mom, who's no longer with us, but I'm sure she's hanging out somewhere. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. And Erica, good to see you, Erica. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Erica, good to see you, and happy Mother's Day to you're I'm trying to remember. I don't want to say I think you do have kids. I don't want to go too much into your personal business, but I know you have at least one child that's not yours under your belt, but I feel like you have children of your own. Don't want to go too much into that. But Erica, thank you so much for 3 months. 3 months, that's awesome, Erica. Thank you so much. All right. Now I got to really pay attention because I can't miss these. I got to figure out where this tab went. I really do. I don't like how it's not there. Because if I have to scroll all the way through chat because I decide to let the video play for a little bit longer, I'm going to miss some things, and I don't want to. All right. Anyways, sorry, guys. Let's go. Thank you, everybody, for your membership milestones.
In the file. So do you have a written response from Mr. Parfit?
I do, Your Honor.
And have the Beneventes received that?
We have not.
We have not.
Okay. So I think since I don't have one and the Benaventes don't have one, I think the way you're gonna have to do that is have Mr. Parfit testify today, and since you have a statement, you can use that as your basis for asking him questions.
Very well, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll just remind Mr. Parfit, you're under oath. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Lindgren.
So you want the whole?
Yeah, I know we're here for court, and I I don't even know what's going on. They're talking about, I know they're talking about a fence. They're talking about sticks. This is kind of funny, but legal fiction, I know you're going to let me know. And this actually makes it even worse. Because if you say I missed something, I actually have to scroll through chat right now. Because the tab is gone. There was something backstage on StreamYard that would show you the super chats, and that had everything on it. Had all the milestones, all the new members, all the gifted memberships, and the super chats. That tab is gone. It's like literally, it's not here anymore. That's gonna mess with my head. In legal fiction, you can absolutely mess with me now because I'm gonna be scrolling through chat every time you say I missed something. You know what? That being said, legal fiction, I do not believe you right now. I'm never gonna believe you that I missed something, until you know you're right. And you haven't been right yet. You're like 0 for 20.
Whole story?
Right.
Can I ask for a continuance?
Sure.
Okay.
So we've heard what the Benaventes have had to say.
Yes.
And Mr. Lindgren, as your attorney, can figure out how best to respond by asking you questions concerning what you believe the facts are.
StreamYard. I use StreamYard, not Streamlab. I wish they didn't have this so close of names. It's like 50% of no, let's say 45% of streamers use StreamYard. The other 45 use Streamlab. The last 10% use OBS. So yeah, I just wish StreamYard and Streamlab didn't have the same name, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were owned by the same company. It seems like something that a smart company would do is let's create two programs that are very similar but slightly different, and let's call them two different things and have people fight over them. Kind of makes sense. All right, I'm gonna let this play for a little bit. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of this hearing, so I'm gonna let this play for a little bit.
Okay, Ms. Lindgren, go ahead.
Mike, in August of 2023, how did this dispute begin?
We, prior to, or sometime in the beginning of early August 23, me and my wife noticed a large gap in the green belt property line owned by the HOA. And I went to go look at the property line, and I saw numerous trees from the green belt, plus one large tree in particular had been cut down. Prior to that, prior to me going into the green belt, I delivered Mrs. Benavente a note, which I believe is in evidence, that said, can Roy contact me to talk about the tree he took down? She told me that he was on the river fishing and she would get him the note. I went into the green belt and I went onto our property corner. I had rented a special tool that'll find a surveyor's hub. And I was looking for the property corner when within 20 minutes, Mr. Benavente approached me in the green belt and on my property, demanded to know what I was doing on his property. I wasn't on his property. I was on my property in the green belt. In his statement, he states that, or somebody states that I accused him of taking the property stake. I never once accused him of taking the property stake. He actually showed me where it was. It was under the cover of an iron pipe. So I pulled the iron pipe. I checked with the special metal detector, and that's the property corner. So I said to him, I said, if this is the property corner and that's the tree on my property, then you cut down my tree. And prior to that, we had a conversation about he had gotten a plot map from the county and that the map was wrong. And I told him it wasn't. I asked to look at his map. He said, no. I said, do you want to look at my phone? Because I was on the website for the county. He said, no. He said, I could go buy a map from the county office like he did. Then we could look at my map.
Okay, so let me just stop you there so you understand what I need here. I'm not going to be able to resolve any property issue if there's any dispute about that.
Right.
Okay. What I am concerned about is the relationship between the parties as a result of this. So to focus, if you'll focus your questions to Mr. Parfit about that, about how whatever transpired between the parties after that is what I'm looking for.
So
go ahead.
I've met them on 4 occasions. Once I delivered a note, once I talked to both of them through a closed front door with a witness. The other 2 instances was on April 31st when he approached me in the Greenbelt and on my property, and then August 31st.
Yeah, I need to become friends with Mandu. I don't know him. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been to his channel once or twice. I don't know him, and I feel like it's about time I introduce myself to him. So if anybody has any way of me reaching out to him, please contact me through email or Discord, or Mandu if you're listening to this. I think it's about time that we become friends. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, Marie. Thank you.
And then on April 13th, I was in the Greenbelt cleaning up the tree he cut down and some other damage and things like that. And they beat on their fence to get my attention. I was running a chainsaw. I had hearing protection in. I had hand tools, and I hollered, "I'll talk to you when I'm done." When I quit running the chainsaw, I went and stood on a stump in the Greenbelt, looked over their fence, got their attention, and asked what was going on. What did they want? Whatever. We had a verbal altercation. They said I threw a branch over the fence. I told them it wasn't on purpose. I'm cleaning the backyard up. I'm throwing branches and stuff behind me, running the chainsaw. I mean, you see the video, you do see something go over the fence. It wasn't intentional. I didn't.
Okay. Since that date, have you had any contact with the Beneventes? No. And do you on any regular basis look over their fence outside of the incident you just described?
No, not on a regular basis. No.
Mike, when you asked the Beneventes to pay for the tree, did you leave when they asked you to?
Yeah, they submitted a video. It shows 15 seconds of them asking me to leave the property, and that's what I did. It doesn't show maybe the minute or longer before that, where he told me that we could talk through the door. There's none of that in context. It's just them yelling at me, asking me to leave their property, which I did. I've never been on their property since.
How many times since the tree was cut down do you think you've interacted with them?
Since the tree was cut down, twice. When I talked to him through the door about the damages, and then on April 13th.
Have the petitioners ever tried to seek a protective order against you before?
Apparently, this is the second time. I wasn't aware of anything the first time around. They make a statement that they tried to get an order sometime last year, I'm assuming. And it, I don't know, was squashed or null and void or something. I don't know what happened. I wasn't even aware of that.
Have the petitioners ever called the police on you?
Yes. On March 8th, it looks like there was a call made that I was sitting in front of her house and I would park for a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Ladybug. I appreciate it. Member for 1 month. That's awesome. And yeah, members only Monday tomorrow night. Look forward to it. I'm trying to get a special guest for members Monday tomorrow night. I'm trying. We'll see if he wants to come up, but I'm trying. But Ladybug, thank you so much.
And drive away. I did a PDR. I got the audio of the 911 call, and I did another PDR, and I got the officer's notes. In either through the notes or the audio, there's no description of me. There's no description of the vehicle. I've never intentionally parked in front of their house. Also, in that audio phone call, she references something to the effect that I threw the top of the tree that they cut down on top of their shed. And that's not what happened. Prior to her calling on March 8th, we had some windstorms or something like that.
All right, I'm sorry. Anytime someone references a shed, all I think is Will Ferrell. Get off the shed. Hey, great barbecue, Carol. Great barbecue. I love what you're doing with pasta salad. It is great. Thank you so much. Get off the shed. I'm sorry. That if anyone hasn't seen the Get Off the Shed clip by Will Ferrell, it was one of his, I think it was when he, what's the word? When he tried out for Saturday Night Live. Why can't I think of the whatever? You guys are going to tell me what word it is. Words are hard. But Will Ferrell did a really funny skit when he was trying out for Saturday Night Live, and it was Get Off the Shed. They actually put it into an actual skit later because it was so funny. Go check out Get Off the Shed by Will Ferrell. It is hilarious.
And we lost another tree on our property.
That's exactly it. Auditioned. When Will Ferrell auditioned for SNL, he did a Get Off the Shed skit, and they turned it into an actual skit. But it is hilarious if you haven't seen it.
And it went down into a healthy tree on our property. It went into the damaged tree that the Beneventes cut down, and it fell across their fence and onto their shed. It was still attached to the ground. We didn't hear anything from them or anything. On April 13th, we went out there and cut up the tree that fell over, pulled it all off of their fence and off the top of their shed from my property line, got it out of there, untangled it from our healthy tree, and I cut the tree up that was on the ground. When they approached me on the 13th, they never said anything to me about throwing the branches up on top of their shed. And it wasn't the branches from the tree he cut down. It was from a tree that fell down. The root ball was still attached to the ground, and we just cut it up. It was our tree. We cut it up. We pulled it out of their fence and off the top of their shed. But part of this, you don't have that. They don't have that because the documents I got say I have 7 days to file any evidence, and I didn't get 7 days to file it. And there's another RCW or something, the sheriff has to serve me with 5 days, and I wasn't even served with 5 days. I've had basically 3 business days to do PDRs, to find an attorney, to get things put together.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Like, during the interaction over the branches falling in their yard, the first one, were you carrying a firearm or some other kind of weapon?
No.
And is it true that it has only been 4 court days since you were served with this?
Yeah, I was served on Tuesday afternoon, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, with a court date on Monday morning.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Beneventes, anything else you want to add?
You know, Your Honor, we just want to be left alone to live our lives. We don't care about what goes on outside. Like I said, we apologize for the tree, but that apparently didn't stop him. We just want to enjoy our retirement years and just enjoy our backyard. That's all.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so what do you guys think? Who's being the aggressive neighbor here? I don't know. I feel like the guy with the beard. I feel like the guy with the beard might be a Murica type guy, and I feel like he might be harassing a little bit too much. But I feel like like you're gonna take someone to court over someone cutting trees and throwing sticks. That's a conversation, right? So maybe it's gotten that bad where he's just throwing things onto your property. You feel like you need to take him to court. I mean, just why? But this is wasting the court's time. It is wasting the court's time. Definitely the beard guy. the couple. Yeah, I feel like everyone's split on this. Sally. Oh, clicked the wrong one. I said Sally and clicked the wrong one. Sally, good to see you. Yeah, yeah. I feel like the beard guy might be the aggressor in this, but I don't feel like the couple is that much better. I really don't. But you know, beard guy does seem like a Murica type guy. He really does. Hopefully that adjective makes sense because I don't really want to have to explain what that means. Yeah, I do too. I do too. I think the couple are a couple of Karens, but I think bearded dude is a Murica guy. So I feel like it's a really bad situation for neighbors. I really do. Yeah. See that you know, I'm not gonna say I hate them equally, but I think they're both at fault. I think we have a couple of Karens, and then we have a Murica guy. That's fair, Jedi. That's fair. So wait till you see the next one. Wait till you see the next one. The next one is interesting. Oh no! Did I see? I'm gonna pause this to make sure I can respond to this. I don't know if I said this on stream yet. So I don't know about Judge Washington's court, but Mr. Martin is due in Judge Slavin's court in late June. I think it's I don't remember what date it is off the top of my head. I'm just gonna guess the 25th. I don't know if that's right, but he was scheduled for jury trial at the end of June in Judge Slavin's court. So he has charges in Eric Martin. Eric Martin. I don't want to call him Mr. Martin. I got to use his full government name when he's a subset. So Eric Martin, he has charges in Taylor, Michigan, which is Judge Slavin's court, and Ypsilanti in front of Judge Washington. I don't know about Judge Washington's court, but Judge Slavin let me know that he was scheduled for a jury trial. I think it's June 25th. It's at the end of June. It's somewhere at the end of June. And I will be making a trip up there for Eric Martin's trial. Not only to be able to capture it and be able to report to you guys what happened, but I really want to interview Eric Martin. I want to have that guy on my channel, and I want to interview him so bad. So hopefully I can do both. I can go. Oh, I'm going to go up there. That's going to happen. But hopefully I can get him on my channel. That's the deal. All right, let's finish this one. Let's go on to the next. If you're talking about the Eric Martin trial, in Taylor, they generally mute the in-person stuff. It's not they have it on YouTube, but it's muted. So you can't hear what's going on in person. Judge Shackelford and Judge Slavin both they'll mute the in-person things. I don't know why, but they do. So it might be on YouTube. We might be able to see Judge Slavin's reactions, but that's about all we're going to be able to see. I don't think the audio is going to be on, if it even is there.
I've listened to the testimony of the parties in this case, and I had previously reviewed the exhibits that had been filed by the petitioners. And I do understand that Mr. Parfit was indicating that if given his preference, he would ask for more time to prepare. But after hearing all of this, I'm going to deny the petitioner's request for a protection order. Thus is why I'm not addressing the respondent's request for a continuance. It appears that there's been this dispute over apparently the tree led to some contention between the neighbors, and the relationship sort of went downhill after that. But the contacts have been limited. I don't have any evidence of any contact subsequent to the 13th of April. And I don't find in here a basis for me to enter a protection order. So I'm going to deny the Benevente's request for such an order. What I will indicate, Mr. Parfit, is one, if you're seeking reimbursement for the cut tree and an apology is not enough, make sure any contact is through counsel, not through you.
Yes,
Don't
Your
go to
Honor.
the door and hand them a bill or anything.
Yep.
They've made clear they don't want contact from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And they're on their property, you're on your property. They don't want to have discussions about the property. If you have objection to how they're administering their property, or if you think they're cutting your property or the green belt or whatever, either go to the HOA or contact counsel and have counsel contact them.
Yep.
But you can see how we're here in court because of the nature of the contact. I watched the video and I heard both parties yelling, so I understand
Yep.
that. I just strongly suggest that you avoid contact with the Beneventes in any fashion unless you're going through third parties because you have certain issues.
Can that,
And the Beneventes understand the nature of this, and I would strongly suggest Mr. Parfit is also asking that you not contact him directly, and I've heard you say all you want is peace on your property, so I suspect you'll be happy not to contact Mr. Parfit. So hopefully this will bring we'll put this issue to bed for now, and hopefully this will bring some at least peaceful coexistence. You may not have to become best friends, but as neighbors, each party would probably like to enjoy their property peacefully without feeling under threat from the other. So let's see if we can leave it that way.
understood?
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. And we'll give you a copy of the
Thank you, Your
denial
Honor.
order. And for the Beneventes, you're not present, but a copy of this order will be available to you in your electronic file with the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that was judge talk for why are you guys in front of me? You guys are neighbors. Just get along. You guys are yelling about sticks. It's not about sticks. There's a underlying thing going on. Just this is when you just bust out a bottle of whiskey, go hang out with the dude, and be like, "Hey, let's talk." You're neighbors. You're not going to be able to avoid each other. You live next door. Yeah, that's all. I don't know what else to say. But when you live next door to someone who's frustrated with your actions or you're frustrated with theirs, that's when you just cough it up, buy a bottle of whiskey, go hang out, and bury it. Telling you, that's all you got to do. Or sometimes a bottle of wine. Wine works sometimes. I don't know. If I have a problem with someone, I'm buying a bottle of whiskey and we're gonna hang out. I'm not gonna buy a bottle of wine, but wine works sometimes too. Eleanor, thanks. Thank you so much for the super chat. Your interview with Judge Fletcher was great. So happy I found your channel. I'm happy you found my channel too. I'm so happy you found my channel. Thank you. Thank you. And I will give credit where credit is due. Court Vibes is the person that found Judge Fleischer. So every time that he comes up, I will mention her name. So thank you to Eleanor. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you to Kathy at Court Vibes for finding Judge Fleischer. Yeah, but that's also why I don't cover him. He's very heavily covered by a lot of YouTube channels right now. And I don't want to show everything everyone else does. So that's why you don't see his content on my channel, but I'm happy to know that I'm friends with him and I can reach out to him whenever I need. So, yeah. All right, we're going to the next one. The next one's better. This was PPO because, neighbors didn't like sticks. The next one's better. And it's going to cause a lot more of a discussion, I promise.
I know.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. I would love to visit Australia. Absolutely love to visit Australia. I want to. There are a few places that I want to visit. While I can. Australia is one of them. I would love to come hang out there. But I'm I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a whiskey person. I'm not a Scotch person. I'm going to tell you that right now. Scotch smells like Band-Aids to me. And so Scotch is one of those things that's an acquired taste. It's kind of like coffee, right? Nobody's going to take their first sip of coffee and think it's amazing. Same thing with Scotch. Same thing with whiskey. The difference is whiskey and bourbon, I spent the time and I acquired that taste. Scotch smells and tastes like Band-Aids to me, and I can't get over that. I got to spend some time and actually enjoy it before I can, drink it socially, because I am not the Scotch guy. I am whiskey / bourbon all the way. And yeah, for those of you that drink Scotch, and I just made the Band-Aid reference, you know what I'm talking about. It smells and it at least smells like Band-Aids. It does. It does. And I can't get over that. I can't. But I understand what goes into making Scotch, and Scotch is, like I don't know how to explain it. Tequila. Oh, I love tequila. Donald, I love tequila. Tequila is my go-to when it comes to, if someone's like, "Oh, let's take a shot for your birthday." Like, all right, we're doing, I'm doing a shot of tequila. Tequila is what I shoot. I don't sip on tequila. Whenever someone's taking a shot for anything, I'll take a shot of tequila. But it's not Jose Cuervo. It's not, that. It's I love Don Julio, the Blanco Don Julio. It's my favorite. I will take shots of that all day. It's so smooth. So smooth. But I love tequila. I love bourbon. But yeah, Scotch is just something I have to work myself into. And I respect Scotch again, but it's something that I need to actually spend some time and learn how to appreciate, just the same way I did bourbon. But right now, if you gave me in front of me a glass of Scotch or a glass of bourbon, I'll take the bourbon all day long without question. Even if it's just, the cheapest bourbon / whiskey. I would take whiskey over Scotch as well. You can give me a really cheap whiskey, and I would drink that over a Scotch, just because I don't know how to enjoy it. I haven't developed the palate of Scotch. I have not. So I'm not gonna shit on any Scotch drinkers out there. It's a developed taste. It really is. It's a developed taste. But once you acquire that taste, you enjoy it. Just like Scotch is again, I'm going to reference coffee again. It's the same thing. Nobody takes a sip of coffee for the first time and says, "This is the best thing I've ever had." Same with Scotch. You have to acquire that taste, and once you have it, people love it. And so I'm not going to shit on that community, but I'm going to tell you right now, it tastes like Band-Aids to me. Kathy, I was just talking about you. Did I'm going to guess that the hair on the back of your neck was rising because I was just talking about you probably 5 minutes ago. Good to see you, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. Can one of my mods drop Kathy's link for me, please? Please go check out Kathy's channel. She's awesome. Kathy is in Court Vibes. I need to start calling her Court Vibes and not Kathy, but I'm a person that uses first names. Legal fiction. You miss Court. Did you say that? Hold on. This is at 9:12. This is at 9:13. Legal fiction, you are awesome. But I'm telling you, if this isn't her first message, then you are right. I miss her coming in. But you sent a message 1 minute later. But I do appreciate your super chat. Legal fiction, you are awesome. But yeah, I did miss her coming in by 1 minute. I did.
Good morning. Take a pick. All right, we have Ms. Absent present and Ms. Robert present. And Mr. Robert is present and Mr. Landis is present, all of those by Zoom. So Ms. Robert, Mr. Robert, and Ms. Hobson, raise your right hands for me, please. Swear that testimony in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, I know I saw the parties on Friday in regards to the appeal of the small claim ruling. And I had told you at the time, I knew you were coming into court today. I had previously reviewed the petition in this case, and so I am familiar with the issues raised. Ms. Hobson, Mr. Landis is serving as your counsel, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Frankly, I'll just ask, well, since you're represented by counsel, I'll go through Mr. Landis. Mr. Landis, as I've indicated, I've read.
Kathy Berry, 10 more membership. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 10 members that just got memberships. Kathy, I appreciate it so much. I'm out of thank yous. I don't know what else to say. You are extremely generous to the channel, and thank you so much for being here, Kathy. I appreciate it. Everyone that's receiving the memberships appreciates it. Kathy, you are awesome. You are truly awesome, and I hope you're having a great Mother's Day. I really do. Even if you don't have children of your own, I'm sure I don't know. Now, I don't want to say stuff like that. This is me trying to continue because you're so generous to the channel, and I want to make something personal for you, and I don't know what to say. So I'm going to stop before I get myself into trouble like I almost just did. So, Kathy, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Ms. Hobson's petition. I've reviewed the other documents and also reviewed the response from Ms. Robert and associated documents. Do you have any other factual testimony you wish to have elicited prior to making argument in this case?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. If Your Honor has any particular questions or something comes up from Ms. Roberts' testimony or Mr. Roberts' testimony, we'd like an opportunity to respond if need be, but I think the record is pretty complete in terms of the evidence that we have filed.
All right, thank you. And both parties have filed fairly extensive evidence, and I have reviewed it. So I just want to indicate that to the parties. All right, Ms. Robert, do you have anything you want to add that's in addition to what you have already filed?
Ed, member for 1 month. Thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate it. Blackberry whiskey is yummy. Blackberry whiskey. I have not tried it. I'm not a flavored whiskey type. Okay, so that's actually that doesn't make sense because all whiskey is flavored. For those of you that don't know, there are a lot of, it's like wine. There are a lot of different flavor notes in whiskey as there are wine. So all of whiskey is flavored, and it starts with the oak barrel. I can go into a 20-minute conversation on what it takes to make whiskey, but I've never had blackberry whiskey. Never had blackberry whiskey. So I'm going to take your word for it, and it does sound good. So, but thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Member for 1 month. Congratulations, and thank you.
There was new evidence presented, and I quickly responded.
Okay, you're going to need to really speak up because you're coming in very soft.
Okay, can you hear me better?
That is better, yes.
Okay, thank you. The response filed by the petitioner just a few days ago.
This has just turned into a conversation with me and Chad. Cautious on the background. Oh yeah, you have a nice Don Julio bottle. Okay, well, sounds like I'm coming to Texas, and I am planning on coming to Texas later this year. So we're in May. It's probably not going to happen until like the August, September area, but I am going to come down to Texas. The problem with Texas though is it's huge. It's huge. It's not like Michigan. I can visit like 3 or 4 different really big judges that we all see every day in one day. Can't do that in Texas. That's going to actually be a trip. But yeah, I will when that happens, when that is planned, I will shout it out, and I look forward to. I don't want you to open your special bottle of Don Julio for me. That's not going to happen. But I'll bring my own bottle of Don Julio, and we can enjoy it together. How about that? How about that, Andy?
I attempted to respond to rather quickly, but they brought up new questions regarding why we hadn't filed any additional or served them with any additional official notices from the property manager. And she's here as a witness just in case that's even relevant.
Okay, and is that Ashley or Kylie?
That's Rachel Taylor.
Rachel, I'm sorry. Okay, I bet I know Ashley and Kylie. Okay. And so nothing else factually, Ms. Robert?
Kathy Berry, this deserves a shout out. I was going to let this play for a minute, but I saw your message. That's awesome. I am a mom, grandmom, and a great grandmom, and I'm only 65. I also have a very productive family. That is awesome. That is awesome. And congratulations. Congratulations. That is awesome. My mom was the same way. So my mom just passed away 2 years ago at the age of she was about 64. No, 66. She was 66 when she passed away. And my mom had 4 kids, so I have 3 siblings. And I think 17 grandchildren with step grandchildren, because my mom was that awesome mom that included one of my brothers remarried to a woman that had a bunch of kids, and she included them as her grandchildren. So I was really happy that she did it. Sorry, it sounds really bad when I say it this way. I've got a really big, I've got a lot of family drama. So when I say this woman, I'm not going to say her name. It caused a big rift in the family because of, for lack of better term, she's a bitch. So, but my mom opened her arms to her, and yeah, it was great. So my mom was awesome. She did everything she could to make the family the best she could. And yeah. And we all miss her. So, ooh. Okay, I gotta let this play. I gotta let this play and walk away. Thank you, Kathy, for being here. Thank you for everything. Emotional. I'm getting emotional. Gotta let this play.
No, I presented everything.
Right, thank you. And Mr. Landis, on behalf of the petitioner, your argument. And once again, I read your declaration that you had filed recently.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I appreciate you going through the record. It's fairly long and voluminous. I think just to simplify and cut to the key elements here, the respondent doesn't deny that there was electronic surveillance of both of my client's children and at least 6 of their friends on multiple occasions. The justifications that she provides don't really hold water. Primarily, the law does not immunize unwanted surveillance or monitoring or tracking, even if it's on a public or open portion of a social media site. The key is whether that monitoring and tracking makes someone, adult or child, feel frightened, intimidated, or threatened. In fact, the worksheet for the protective order petitions that the court issues makes that clear. It specifies 3 questions that a petitioner has to answer. One is whether the other person has contacted, attempted to contact, monitor, or tracked kept under observation or follows you. Number one. Number two, that the behavior happened 2 or more times. And number three, you feel intimidated, frightened, or threatened. And in fact, the respondent does not contest that my client's children felt intimidated and threatened. And in fact, the same is true of the 6 other children, minor children, teenagers, that were contacted multiple times on the social media sites. One of them, in fact, made it clear that Ms. Robert had done it again, and it was actually scary. And what concerns us in this case is that even after Ms. Robert was notified by my client of the concern to her children and a request that it stop, and even after my client notified her other landlord, Ms. Roberts' husband, at length about the concern that she had and the concern for her children's well-being, there was no response whatsoever. Not at all. No shred of concern has ever been exhibited by the respondent for that issue, which is really the key to a protective order. In addition, the respondent did try to contact or access the private sites several times, not just once, several. Once in April 2023, she attempted to access a private portion of Juliet, my client's daughter, her social media site on Instagram. She was blocked. Then earlier this year, she tried.
Mr. Landis, let me interrupt just so we can make sure the record's clear. And by access, you mean by submitting a request to either in friend and Facebook, or I can't remember what they call it on Instagram, but you have to file a friend request essentially, and that's what you're referring to?
Yes, Your Honor, that's essentially right.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
And so that happened twice, as far as we know, to Juliet. And the second time was earlier this year on a different social media platform called Snapchat. And in that same week, Ms. Robert requested access, again, requested being a friend to one of Juliet's very good friends, Lauren, also on Snapchat. So the key here is that this happened multiple times. There is no defense that it was only on an open portion. That isn't something that the law immunizes. And finally, and most importantly, it caused emotional distress, considerable emotional distress to my client's children and her friends, and my client and her husband as well.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Landis. And Ms. Roberts?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'd just like to respond kind of point by point. I absolutely have not attempted to contact in any way these youth. I have not messaged them, emailed them. I have only viewed the profiles. It's, as I said in my answer, it's possible that on Snapchat, the follow button is rather large. And when you're on your phone, it's super easy to hit a follow request and attempt to follow that person. It's not like a friend request. It's just, Snapchat doesn't even have like, it's a messaging platform. It's not really, as far as I'm aware, it's not like stuff that you don't post things. And I have no need to be friends with these kids. I have no need to message these kids. I was just screenshotting the evidence as I saw it on social media of parties at our house, things involving our house, and multiple children, multiple youth that are at the house are simultaneously posting, hey, here's a selfie. We're at a party in the backyard. Here we are with all of our friends of like 25 and 30 kids. And the petitioner had previously been put on notice that this was absolutely unacceptable in our property. And, they're climbing in the trees, they're dancing on the roof. And so I just merely was trying to document the evidence of the lease violations and the shenanigans that were ongoing. I've never contacted anybody. I've never messaged anybody. I've never followed anybody, attempted to follow anybody. We live 2 hours away. I'm not we're not at the house while they were living there, trying to monitor the comings and goings. I have third-party reports coming to me from the neighbors who I know because we lived in that home for several years, and they are telling me, hey, there's another party at your house. There's another thing happening. There's cars lining the street.
You're going to have to be a lot more specific than that, Eleanor. I do not know what you're talking about, but yeah, this is a wild case. Lone Wolf. Glad you're here, buddy. If one of my mods can drop Lone Wolf's link, I'm pretty sure that everyone that's a subscriber to me is also a subscriber to him, but you never know. So, can one of my mods please drop Lone Wolf's link? Thank you.
I've produced multiple pieces of evidence of the documentation that came from social media, that came from public, open social media. So I have no reason or desire to be contacting these kids, and for that matter, for the or anyone related, friends, whatever. So I don't believe that they're afraid, because all their social media things are public. If they were afraid, they'd make them all private. They're all public. They post stuff out there because they advertise parties online, and they want everyone to see what they're up to. It's part of that, youth culture, but it requires, in my opinion, it requires parenting to say, gee, what are you putting out on social media? And what does that say about?
You know what, Nick? I will definitely have some fried avocado toast with you. And yeah, when I go to Texas, it'll be announced. And Nick, I really hope that I can come to an area that you're close enough to come visit me, or I come to an area close enough where I can come visit you. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. But that's definitely happening. It's happening this year. I will be traveling to Texas at some point this year to court watch, and also, you know what? I'm not going to go personal. But yeah, Nick, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, maybe not the peanut butter bacon sandwich, but we'll do fried avocado toast. I'll eat that with you for sure.
You and what you're doing, and when they're posting photos with beer cans in hand, it's evident what's going on. And I merely was trying to document that for our own purposes, because these people were renting our home, and over the course of 3 years there is extensive damage to our home. And it's kids running amok, and just people not taking care of things, people claiming no responsibility for damages, for behaviors, even though they say in an email, yes, I'll make sure.
Okay, I'm not the small claims court, so I'm not going to get into the issue of
I understand
damage and responsibility.
the line's definitely blurred.
All right, so Ms. Robert, you'd indicated that you had made no attempts to contact them, but I saw screenshots of at least 2 friend requests. So to me, that seems like a desire to contact or to get access to private displays.
Which screenshots are you referring to?
Well, your name appears on a couple.
That's just that I viewed the profile, or that I viewed the open profile, not that I was attempting to be a friend. And I think they're the same one, even though they're listed separately. Let me find.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my understanding is those are friend requests where you're asking to participate in their particular postings. I don't know that that automatically happens if you just log in
There's
and
one
look
on
at their site.
Exhibit 4 for Snapchat. That's the one I think was inadvertent. Like you can just be scrolling on your phone and accidentally hit the blue bar because it goes all the way across, and that then sends a follow request. It's not a message. It's not anything. It was inadvertent. It wasn't on purpose. My phone is fairly small, and it's easy to accidentally hit it, I guess, when you're looking at the open profile. Like, it's a public profile, anyone can look at it, and then to accidentally hit the follow button is something that is very easy to do and wasn't done intentionally.
Thank
The
you.
Exhibit 4 is the only one I see where there's a request. The rest of them just say that I viewed the profile along with multiple other people who are also not friends who have viewed the profile. That's all I see. One accidental on Snapchat. On Exhibit Exhibit 4. When it says follow next to it and it's red, you press that button on TikTok if you want to follow that person's TikTok. That was not what I was doing. I never clicked that. If I did, it would say follow back. Exhibit 3 and Exhibit 4 are exactly the same incident. So it shows Exhibit 3 that I added someone on Snapchat, and then it shows an Exhibit 4 except, added except friend. That's the same situation. It happened one time and it was accidental, and it was a year ago when I was first looking at all the social media, trying to determine what was going on at our house because of the.
Okay, and Exhibit 6.
Exhibit 6. Exhibit 6 just shows that profile views. There's 2 Exhibit 6s. One says 907 at the top, and it just shows that I viewed a profile. It doesn't even show whose profile I viewed. And the second Exhibit 6 shows 108 at the top. And that again just shows that I viewed a profile, not that I attempted to follow them. Just that I.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Landis, you get the last word.
Your Honor, as my client's declaration and her initial petition makes clear, there were multiple attempts to access, but not only of her children, but at least one of the friends. As you can imagine, it is the only way to capture that evidence is if the child at the time takes a screenshot of the attempt. And what we provided were examples, and it's not exhaustive. I'm relying on the declaration of my client, and certainly if it becomes an issue, we can ask each of the other friends, the other minors, to submit declarations. But I think the important thing here is that whether it's on a public, whether she accessed a public portion of the site or tried to get access into the private portion, the law makes no distinction between the two. The law forbids unwanted surveillance, even if it's through, peering through a binoculars on somebody's sidewalk or a public park or following them. It's that there is no distinction that the law makes that requires actual intended access to a private portion of a social media site. But Your Honor, I would like to make a suggestion about how I think we can resolve this dispute fairly readily, if Your Honor is willing to hear that.
Go ahead.
My client and her family have moved out of the house. The tenancy is over. And so the justification that Ms. Robert has provided to previous monitoring of the social media sites, whether or not it was legitimate at the time, it is no longer any reason whatsoever to conduct any observation of public or attempted private sites. And so if Ms. Robert simply promises here in court not to continue the behavior, not to do it again, and apologizes for any emotional distress that has been caused to these children, then we will withdraw the request for the protective order.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Robert, do you want to respond?
Yes, Your Honor, there is one more thing I wanted to respond to, and that is, we actually hired a property manager for the.
Right, okay, hold on. Just with Mr. Landis has indicated there'll be a withdrawal of petition for an order if you're indicating you have no desire to further contact the parties.
I agree, Your Honor. I have no desire. The only contact I'm going to need to have is with the parents, and that's regarding damages to our home.
Your Honor,
Okay,
Your Honor,
hold
may
on.
I say something? Only because of the fact that in regards to this situation, I feel that the testimony from us is actually super important, because there is a piece in regards to what Greg is saying, in regards to his request for her to cease those things because they're out of the property. I would like to state that the Roberts actually came and hired management because they wanted no further contact with them due to the fact that the harassment from what the only reason I feel like this is somewhat
Ms. Taylor,
relevant.
hold on. Ms. Taylor, hold on. What's your relationship here? Are you one of the property managers? You're muted.
Yeah, and the reason I feel it's somewhat relevant is because
Okay, I'll decide whether I need you're one of the property managers?
yeah, and the owner of Pettit Property Management, yes.
Okay, so do you agree that Ms. Hobson and her family have moved out?
They have vacated the property, correct?
Okay, all right. Okay. So I've heard thank you. I've heard Ms. Robert indicate that she has no further interest in contacting the children of Ms. Hobson, either directly or indirectly. And obviously, and Ms. Taylor is the one responsible for closing up the property and moving it along. I can't imagine any interest you would have in the activities of the children going forward. Is that accurate? Ms. Taylor, is that accurate?
That would be accurate. My concern is that Greg Landis has actually told the tenants, even though they have vacated, in multiple correspondence since we took over, that we are not the point of contact. And they refuse to go through us and keep going to the Roberts directly due to his, and I have written proof, his direction.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
That's why I think it's important.
I'm not going to get into that. Okay. Mr. Landis is their attorney, is representing them, and he'll take actions he believes is appropriate. So, all right. I'm going to note the withdrawal of the petition by Ms. Hobson and indicate that Ms. Robert has agreed not to reach out to the children. And this doesn't, this doesn't create a barrier to the parties, the adult parties contacting each other in regards to the current ongoing dispute over the tenancy and any damages that may have resulted therefrom and the return of the deposit. Those issues are issues that adults are fully capable of handling through the processes that are created. And that would be the expectation. I will say, frankly, that this was going to be the result, in my mind, whether Mr. Landis had suggested it or not, because I do think that posting things in public arenas is basically inviting observation.
All right. There's only a couple minutes left of this. Do you guys want a bonus clip tonight? Let me know if you want a bonus clip. I've got a really good landlord-tenant case that it's at a smaller court that I don't think I've covered before, but it's a pretty good one. Let me know if you want a bonus clip. Let me know. But there's only about a minute left of this, so yeah.
As I suspect, lots of landlords review public postings of tenants to make sure that what they're seeing is appropriate. If people want what they're doing not to be observed publicly, they probably ought to take more precaution. Who else does this? Law enforcement does it. The number of convictions that are obtained when somebody posts things online and, I wasn't there, but then it shows them there with the knife or the gun in the hand, whatever. Who else uses it? Schools. Kids applying to college. What are they like? Colleges peruse their social media all over the place, looking to see what are they really like. So it's a fairly common thing, and the expectation these days, and this is coming from somebody, me, who I am on no social media, so for a very intended purpose. But those who decide to put themselves on social media are opening themselves to observation by folks way beyond their intended audience if they put it public. And so there just ought to be caution. And Ms. Hobson sitting right in front of me, and she's hearing me say this. And I'm just indicating that from where I sit, that would be, I would hesitate to restrict people's ability to observe what is appearing in front of them directly. Now, I also agree that since the tenancy is ended here, there would be no basis for Ms. Robert or Mr. Robert, or in fact, Ms. Taylor and the agency that is administering the property to then peruse anything going on with the kids unless somehow they show up back at the property having a big party or whatever. But beyond that.
Jay, thank you so much. Always want a bonus clip. All right. All right. Colin has the best Simpson clip that I promise will make you scream stop. Just please stop and laugh the whole time. What? Which clip are you talking about? No. Which one are you talking about? I need to know which one you're talking about. Don't let him hide in there and the woman can't stop walking. Which one? I've got a lot of clips that you send me. No is responsible for about 25% of the content I put on this channel. I just want everyone to know that. So I need to know what clip you're specifically talking about there. No. But you have a Simpson. Oh, okay. I have that Simpson one. I don't have it in video format yet, though. I don't have it yet. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's not the clip I'm gonna play. It's not the clip that's not my bonus clip, but I know which clip you're talking about. All right, let's finish this one up, and then I'll play the bonus clip.
They should not be observed in their, social media.
No. So here's the thing: I want to play clips that you haven't seen before. So my level of what I'm gonna play on my channel is has no one no seen this. Just saying. Just saying. If you've seen it, that means 50% of the people out there have seen it. Have you seen the 2 clips that I played today? Probably not. And I guarantee you haven't seen the next clip I'm about to play, the bonus clip. Guarantee you haven't.
Gathering, that would then indicate to me a surveillance that's going on because there's no reasonable issue that either the Roberts or Ms. Taylor would have in the activities of the Hobson family. So I will sign the denial order with that understanding that there will be no further looking at the public media of at least the children of Ms. Hobson. And the parties as adults can continue in their attempts to resolve the legal issues that have previously been before the court and I know are now moving on to an appellate review. All right, and Mr. Landis, I'll sign an order to this effect and it'll be available in the district court file for the parties and same for the Ms. Robert. I'll sign a denial order. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate your guidance in this matter.
All right. Well, thank you all. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, that one's done. All right. You guys know the bonus clip rules. When I play a bonus clip, it is a video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow. So I'm not going to tell you to rewatch it tomorrow, but please, when you see it pop up, just jump in and hit a like. I appreciate it. Where is it? All right, here we go. I forgot what I titled it. What's going on? All right, I'll fast forward through my intro. You guys don't have to see this again. You know what? Screw it. I like hearing it. Let's go. What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin. I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. I'm joking. I'm joking. Not doing that to you guys. I made you sit through the intro. Now watch the video. It's now watch the video. It sounded very forceful. This is an emotional landlord-tenant case. It really is. And this is a court that it's also another new court. I've been looking for new courts for a long time. So this is another new court. It's a good one. It's a good one, I promise. All right, let's go.
Yeah, G. Lee, and then it's a Jalissa, you said, correct? And Miss Jalissa on this side. And it's Lee, Miss Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Lee, all right. So Miss Lee, are you the owner of the property?
Yeah.
Okay, and can you go ahead and get it started? What is the monthly rent?
Sure, the monthly rent is $1,525.
Okay. What is the total amount that you're seeking in back rent?
So how much she owed me?
Yes.
Yeah, so she doesn't pay the May rent, so the prorated rent is $491.93.
Okay, so all you're asking for is May's rent?
Right, so fully May's rent. Yeah.
Well, the prorated of May. So she's paid January, February, March, and April.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So Miss Jalisa, first of all, do you agree that your monthly rent is $1,525? Okay. Second of all, have you paid May's rent?
I sent her $7. She sent it back. I split my payments because I have card notes and I'm a single mother. So she's never had an issue. She's never said it was a problem. Took my rent, told me next when it's due. Sent her $700 every time I get paid.
Okay.
So, and then, well, $700 and $800. And I sent $700 yesterday morning. She just sent it back when we was in court.
And she filed.
Yeah.
She filed the case.
Well,
So
if
once
that's
it's
the
filed-
case, why she didn't send me other funds that I paid when she filed?
What other funds have you
For
paid?
April, March and April. Like I paid it in April.
Okay, when did you pay in April?
I can return the back because
I don't know why.
I deserved, right?
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. I paid it on, let me go to my Apple Pay.
And is there a lease?
Yes, I brought it and also on the list it is that
April 25th, April 17th, and April 11th, because I have to split it up. I have to.
Okay, so I understand you have to, and I understand that she may have accepted it at any other time, but if it's in the lease, she doesn't have to accept partial payments.
Okay, well, I'll just pay her what's owed, but I can't move out.
Okay, so hold on, everybody. What part of the lease are you wanting me to look at?
yeah, the last one.
It's what?
The last one, it said I require she pay me the monthly rent at one time. Yeah, the last one.
Okay, so, and Miss Jolisa, I don't know if you've read this part of your lease, but it does state at the very bottom on D4, the landlord requires to pay monthly rents by one payment. So my next question is there anything you can do to
I've
become current?
already, yes, I can send her. I don't know why she sent the 700. She could have just asked for the rest. That's all she had to do.
Okay, so how quickly can you pay them?
Right now.
The full,
Yes, the full 1525.
No, I don't accept.
all right, and
Why?
so,
I don't give her no problem.
I want to get my property back. I need the
That's what
rent
y'all
pay on time.
okay, stop.
That's what they do to the whole subdivision. It's only been there a year and they've kicked almost everybody out. And they are not.
Because they don't pay the rent.
This is crazy.
The what, ma'am?
Because she said I kick out another tenant. I did it 2 months ago because the lady doesn't pay me rent on time. You do have the record there. Yeah, it is not my fault.
All right, so Miss Lee, you're wanting possession of your property back, is that correct? Okay. All right, Miss Jolisa, again, unfortunately, I can't force them to accept any money at this point. The monthly rent was late and there's nothing I can do. It was part of the lease that you signed that they required it in one month. I understand they may have been working with you at any given time, but also you're bounded by the lease when it's brought into court. So at this point, I'm aware that you're able to make your monthly rent in full. However, I can't force the parties to accept any payment. So at this point, judgment is going to be rendered in the amount of $491.93. Once that is paid, Miss Lee, you are bound to release that judgment. Once she pays the $491, that is all she is entitled to pay. Okay?
Okay.
All right, because I have already prorated May. You are not liable for the full, she is not liable for the full amount of rent for May because it is only May 10th. Once this $491 is paid off, you are bound to do that release of judgment to get it off her credit. Is that clear?
What do you mean of the bond?
So when you're putting a judgment on her credit.
Yeah.
When she pays that money off to you, you have to come to the court and release that judgment from her record. She's not going to walk around with an eviction judgment after she's paid you already.
You mean the 400 and the prorated?
The prorated of $491 is all she owes you.
Okay, so if she pays the amount in 5 days, I cannot get her out of my property.
No, that is not what I said. So you have possession of your property.
Okay.
She's got 5 days to move out or 5 days to appeal it.
Okay.
If she comes back in 6 months, she comes back in 5 years and pays you this 491, you got to come to the court and do the release of judgment to get it off her record.
So I
That's
paid the
what I'm saying.
400 right now. The 4, she needs to remove it.
The 491.93.
She needs to remove it.
I can remove it, but she has to get out of the property, right?
She's got 5 days to move out or appeal it.
Yeah, appeal it.
Okay.
I can remove the judgment, but Yeah, she either move out or appeal.
Nobody's, yes, speaking of the
Right.
moving out, that's not gonna change. You've got
Mhm.
possession of
But
the
as soon
property
as I
or,
pay, you need to remove it.
yes, okay?
I'll send it right now so she can start the
All right,
process.
and if y'all would like, y'all can always come to the court and make the payment, and she's here and she can do the release of judgment at
So
that
am I
time
making
too.
it to her
But-
or?
No, not the court. The court's a neutral
So that's
party.
what I'm saying. I send it to her. I'll send it right now.
Okay,
Even I release the judgment. So.
okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, you want your property back.
Yeah.
She don't want a judgment. Okay,
Oh,
how
yeah.
long are you giving her to move out?
5 days.
Okay, can you move out in 5 days?
I can't.
You can't.
Just- I didn't expect. I thought I pay, I'm good. I don't cause her any problem.
No, I
Me and my
understand.
kids, we're by ourselves. Like, we don't do anything, and she's just not understandable. And it's the whole community, the whole little block. It hasn't even been a year since it's been up. Like, it'll be a year. I was the second tenant to move in, and they just been dropping like flies. And I've been paying.
This is a case of landlord is trying to be snippy. Like, I mean, she's paying her rent. It might be late, but she's paying her rent. Let it go, landlord. She bought the property and she's kicking tenants out. Some landlords find out the hard way that keeping good tenants is harder to find, is harder to do than finding good tenants. If she's doing her best and she's actually paying, she's not that far behind. Some landlords just find out the hard way that booting out good tenants is a bad idea. Just saying that I'm on the side of her. I'm on the side of the tenant, not the landlord on this case. Just saying.
And I told her when I was late, I told her I got pulled over. They towed my car. So I had to pay to get my car. So the rent, I couldn't pay it. So I told her when I can pay it. And she was like, no, I'm going to follow judgment. She did it like she didn't have no understanding, and they never do. And it's sad.
Unfortunately, I can't.
Sad.
I hear you. I understand. Some landlords are different than the others. Some are willing to work. Some have to answer to a higher person. I don't know what the situation is, but let me tell you, Miss Lee, real quick, okay? Before you start making a decision, because we're well aware that you want her out of the property. That is very understandable. I get that, okay? But you need to remember too, and I'm going to give you some different choices so that you can make whatever choice you want for you. And ultimately, I'll grant you whatever you want, okay? But you can walk away with a judgment. She's got 5 days to move out or appeal it. If she appeals it, it goes to a higher court and she remains on the property until whatever. And y'all can go duke it out all day long in county court. I don't care. Okay. Or you can give her some time to move out. She will not have a judgment on her credit. And it will be more motivation for her to move out and you'll be done and you don't have to duke it out in county court. But if you want your judgment and you want to spend all your time in county court dealing with it, you're more than welcome to. So I'm just telling you your options before.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, James. I get that. I get that point. But all I'm going to say is it sounds like she's trying. That's all I'm going to say. And she's not that far behind. She's trying her best to figure it out. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. You know, but I'm spoiled though, right? I watched Judge Simpson's court all day long. And his landlord-tenant cases, he gives people time. He does a lot of things. Yeah, this woman's just like, you know what? She doesn't want me here. I'm leaving. And all of a sudden, it just hit her. It's like, oh, I just said that. And now I got to go. Yeah, I feel bad for her. The tenant.
You make an irrational decision because I already know that you're like, I want her out. I want her out. I get that. Nobody is stating that she's not going to move out. What I am simply stating is what's in y'all's both best interest to get what you want.
I understand. The thing is that since the first month she moved in, she starts to pay me rent late. I already give her many months to kind of try to solve his financial problem. So she paid Wait, every month
Okay.
is the first,
Okay,
the
so
You
third month.
never said anything. Say, if you would have said something to me that I knew if it was an issue,
I told
then
you,
I would've-
and she said a lot of dirty words to me. I have the text message. I feel so sorry about that. So I have to get her out.
Okay, so you want your judgment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna appeal.
All right, judgment for $491.93. If you need any information on the appeal process, you can go up to the
Okay.
front now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's all I got. That's all I got for tonight. I hope you guys all have a great evening. Hope you guys all have a great night. All the mothers out there, hope you guys have a great Mother's Day. Yeah, let's go hang out on Discord for a little bit. So yeah. Kathy, you're still here. Thank you for hanging out, Kathy. I appreciate it. Lone Wolf is here too. This is awesome. Next time I'm just gonna open the panel up for both of you. That would have made a lot more sense, 45 minutes ago. Anyways, everyone have a great night. Kathy is probably going to go live here in, I don't know, 6 hours. She likes going live at like 4 a.m. because she's a weirdo. Also, check out Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf has an awesome channel. That's all I got. So I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys all have a great night. And yeah, until next time, bye. Sorry, I got nothing. I was trying to think of something clever to say. I've got nothing tonight. So yeah, if you're a fan of Discord, we're gonna jump in Discord and hang out for a little bit after this. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Until next time, bye.
All right, let me get